This is a simple question. What is the People Liberation Council of Western Togoland?
Well, People's Liberation Council, simple put, PLC, we are a group, an NGO that is trying to facilitate the process of guiding the people into making Western Togoland a noble state. With that, we are hoping that we will lead our country in harmony with our other neighbors, neighboring countries like Ghana, so that we will have a restored Western Togoland that we desire. So People Liberation Council, in a nutshell, is playing the role that the UN and Britain have left undone. Because one of the things is that we are also focused on education, health issue, restoration of our country, seeing the welfare of our citizens, to make sure that everything is in line, so that when the restoration of Western Togoland comes, everybody will be happy in a very peaceful manner. So we are also playing the role of Britain that's supposed to be doing. At the same time, we are also trying to guide the people to establish structures that will sustain the development of Western Togoland, and also to enhance a healthy and sustainable development of the natural environment and resources. So those are the role that PLC is playing, and those are the reason why PLC is in existence.
Yeah, you said a lot. You've talked about you talked about health, you talked about education, you talked about natural resources.
Yeah.
We could go into that. Where you sit now, you're speaking as a citizen of Western Togoland.
Sure.
Yes. And there are a lot of misconceptions about Western Togoland.
Sure.
I want you to take some time and explain, because what I'm trying to do here, or we are trying to do here, is communicate to people back home in Ghana and in Western Togoland, as you want to put it. So I just want you to clear some misconceptions. Explain, because I know there are some lawmakers, there are people who are learned, there are the ordinary Ghanaian. There are a lot of people who don't really understand where people or the citizens of Western Togo are coming from. So can you clear that misconception? Because we want to be clear on this issue before we move forward with the conversation.
Okay, thank you so much. Western Togoland is a half part of Togoland. Togoland was a full land. It was recognized during the 1844 in the Berlin Conference. It was recognized as a sovereign state on its own. Togoland was under the German suzerainty that we're enjoying.
1 minute. If my producer can put the map you're talking about on the screen for people to see, I would love it, because I think I want people to be following the conversation we're having. So if the producer is listening, if you can put the map you have on your computer or on the MCR on the screen for people to see, I think it will guide people when they are listening to Mr. Seth. Can you please go on?
Thank you. So Togoland was under the German suzerainty until the First World War broke up. And first of all, let me tell you the position of the Togoland itself.
Okay.
Togoland lies between Dahomey, which is Benin, and the Gold Coast, which is now Ghana. And you realize that when the imperialists invaded Africa, Dahomey was invaded by France. So France was in charge of Dahomey, which is Benin, and Gold Coast, Britain was in charge of Gold Coast. So Togoland lies between Gold Coast and Dahomey. And Gold Coast, in Togoland, we have German who were taking care of us at the time. So we were enjoying German suzerainty, like I said before. We were not a colony, as a matter of fact. We are not a colony.
Okay.
We were under German, and then we were enjoying German suzerainty until the First World War broke up. And everybody listening to me can attest to the fact that the Second World War did not happen in Africa. It was a war going on in Europe. So Britain and France, because Germany was between them, they joined allied forces together and came to our land, Togoland, and fought German on our land. German was defeated and they left. Then Togoland was divided into two.
Okay.
Into eastern part and western part. Because the western part was close to the Gold Coast and Britain was already in Gold Coast, British took western part and French took eastern part. Because eastern part was also close to Dahomey, which is a France colony.
Okay.
So France took the eastern part. Now, in 1922, League of Nations came in. League of Nations was the government of the world at the time. He came in and said to Britain and France that we don't do this. This land doesn't belong to Germany. Even if it does, this place, the First World War is happening. So why bring the war here? So right from there, in 1922, League of Nations pronounced the two land, Western Togoland and Eastern Togoland, as Class B mandated territory and made them a complete nation on its own.
Okay.
The League of Nations entrusted this land into Britain and France to be nurtured to independence until Second World War came, and then League of Nations was dissolved, and then United Nations came. When UN came, it also adopted the resolution of League of Nations. But what it changed was that it changed the Class B mandated territory to trust territory and placed our land under the Trusteeship Council at the UN. So we were trust territory under UN, being administered by the British. Now there were laws. There were laws governing us.
Yeah.
There were a Trusteeship Agreement between UN and Britain on how to take care of us. I have it here, and I can show it to you. Now, this is the time we have to look at the Trusteeship itself. The purpose and the principle of the Trusteeship Council is to make sure by the time that Trusteeship Agreement will be terminated, the trust territory gain full independence.
Okay.
That is the purpose and the principles of the Trusteeship Council. That every Trusteeship Council, every Trusteeship territory under the Trusteeship Council, will be independent at the point where the Trusteeship Agreement will be terminated. So it came to a point. This is where the confusion started.
All right.
It came to a point where Britain have to relinquish our land to Britain, to UN, because Britain is no longer in position to continue with our land.
Okay.
And Britain at the time is ready to grant independence to the Gold Coast. It was then that Britain proposed to the United Nations that to have a union between Western Togoland and the Gold Coast.
Now, a union between Western Togoland and Gold Coast. At that moment, these two colonies or countries were independent. They stood alone.
Yeah, at this moment, we were trust territory and Gold Coast was a slave.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I should use that word, because Gold Coast was a colony. We were not colony. So Gold Coast was a colony at the time. When they say colony, you know what it means.
Yeah.
But we were not a colony. We were trust territory.
Okay.
So UN accept that, okay, go ahead and effect the union between Western Togoland and Gold Coast. But before you do the union, you must make sure that you grant independence to the Gold Coast, because you can't make a union with a colony and a trust territory.
Okay.
So they must be independent before the union. And as you can see, I have a letter here. This is a letter from Sir Alan Noble to the United Nations based on a resolution 1044, which instructed them to effect the union. And he wrote to the UN Secretary General, telling the UN Secretary General that on the 6th of March 1957, the union between Western Togoland and Gold Coast, now Ghana, has been effected.
All right. So I'm going to take a moment and read this letter for our viewers and listeners to know. If the producer can put this on the screen too, I'll be very happy. So the caption is United Nations Trusteeship Council, Distribution General, T1301, 6th March 1957. Original English. 19th session. Item 9 of the Provisional Agenda. The future of Togoland under British administration. Letter dated 6th March 1957 from the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the United Kingdom government to the Secretary General. Now, this is what it says. In accordance with the third operative paragraph of a United Nations General Assembly resolution of 13 December 1956, I have the honor to inform Your Excellency on behalf of Her Majesty's government in the United Kingdom that, with effect from midnight on 5-6 March 1957, under terms of the Ghana Independence Act 5 and 6, the territories previously comprised in the Gold Coast became the independent state of Ghana. Under the same act, the union of the former trust territory of Togoland under British administration with the independent state of Ghana took place with effect from the same time and date.
Sure. Right. So this confirmed that there had been a union between us. But then the question is, UN also gave instruction that if a union is chosen,
Yeah.
the working of the union must be stipulated in the memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
He asked Britain to write the union constitution for the two countries.
Okay.
Now the question is, even the union agreement, where is the union agreement? This is our simple question we are asking. Since 1957, if a union is effected, since 1957, look at that time to now. It's a very long time.
Yeah.
We are asking that Ghana show us the union document so that we can look into it and know our rights and privileges in the union. If we don't have it, let's sit down and write a new one.
Okay.
If you have it, let's sit down, look into it, and review it.
And this, when you read the documents, I've had the opportunity to read a few of the documents.
Sure.
One word keeps coming up. Plebiscite.
Plebiscite, yes.
Yeah. Plebiscite. Actually, the meaning of plebiscite is a direct vote of all members of an electorate on an important public question, such as a change in the constitution. Now, this is where it gets tricky. The difference between referendum and plebiscite are clear. Referenda are binding on the government. They are binding on the government. But a plebiscite is sometimes called advisory referendum because the government does not have to act on its decision. This is self-explanatory. Now, my question is simple. From the explanation I just gave you, does it mean PLC is fighting a losing battle because nothing was binding them?
We are not fighting a losing battle.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even in the resolution, the plebiscite was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly, saying that we should vote in plebiscite to ascertain the wish of Western Togolanders.
Okay.
We should vote in plebiscite to ascertain the wish. And when the wish is ascertained and the yes for union is established, then the union should be established. And by the grace of God, whatever happened, even though the plebiscite itself have its own issue.
Yeah.
But then, whatever.
What do you mean by its own issues?
Yeah, there have been documents. They try at the point of the plebiscite. You realize that UGCC, CPP, which is the Convention People's Party, belonged to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was founded in Sotpon in 1949. Now, by the 50s, Kwame Nkrumah already have his party established in Western Togoland. So at the time that the plebiscite is supposed to go on, the plebiscite, those assisting the registration of the plebiscite were members of the CPP in our land. And they've used so many things to disqualify people who are perceived to be at the plebiscite. The things like the tax collection. I have letters from Togoland Congress to the United Nations and the plebiscite commissioner telling them this is the document I got from the United Nations, and I sent you a copy.
Yeah.
477 pages.
That was a huge.
And I make a copy. I can't read everything, so I make a copy of them. Some of the complaints from our people, and then from the plebiscite, we note with regret that tax receipts are still being used as a qualification for registration in the plebiscite with intent to eliminate Togoland nationals from registration for Togoland plebiscite, while at the same time the CPP council staff members exclusively employed by the registration officers to continue register any CPP element and support it without necessarily requesting them to produce tax receipts.
Can I see that document?
A whole lot. I just make a copy, so you might not see it.
No problem.
Clear.
Yeah.
But when you go to the one I sent you, that you can get everything. So all these things went on. My point is that no matter what happened, plebiscite has happened, and the people voted for yes for union with the Gold Coast, which is now Ghana. So the union must be effected. As of today, the union has not been effected. The union has not been effected.
Yeah.
And then we check. After I wrote to the United Nations personally, they gave me those documents. I also wrote to the United Nations asking them that now that you are able to give me a letter from Alan Noble stating that the union has been effected, if you can please give me a copy of the union agreement.
Okay.
And the UN said they don't have a copy of that agreement. That means that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Now, we also, as a group, we also wrote to various countries to get the same union agreement. In here, this is what when we wrote to Ghana Attorney General.
Can I? Yeah.
Can I just read this? This is what came out.
Yeah.
From Ghana Attorney General.
The illegalities about Western Togoland's freedom. Okay, you can.
Now, when we wrote to the Ghana Attorney General
in
2008, this is what he said. I am not sure that there was a union act. That is the Ghana Attorney General. The letter was dated 17 July 2008, and the reference is SLR 35/2008. You can check that from the records of Ghana database. And then this is what the UN office also told us. He said, please be informed that we didn't find anything in our database regarding a Ghana British Togoland Union Act. It means that this act has never been registered. This is coming from the UN Office of Legal Affairs. This is dated June 3rd, 2008. And then we also wrote to the Queen, to Britain, to ascertain if they have it. And they also came out the same thing. We have, this is from Britain, we have considered the issue you have raised, and it is apparent that we fulfill our UN mandate to British Togoland, that is a UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office. The letter was dated 15th August 2008. Note that the British government has, as usual, tactfully invaded the issue about the Union Act. So we have written to, UN also and the Britain and government, and we don't have the union document. And we are asking Ghana authority that this is.
That they were in there and that they are a country on their own. Something should have happened.
Yes. Kevin, thank you so much. But for correction, the leader of the PLC, which is the chairman, based in Netherlands, is still there. He's not arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever been arrested is another person. And I can tell you that we have many groups fighting for the liberation of our land.
No, let's clarify something.
Yeah.
I know an old gentleman in Ghana was arrested.
Yeah.
And then, to be very honest with you, his face is what people see a lot on the news.
Exactly.
Now you're saying something else. You're
Yes.
saying there are different leaders?
Yes. There are different organizations. We have groups, all registered groups. Some are Western Togoland Liberation Movement. We have PLC. We have Homeland Study Group Foundation.
Yeah.
And a whole lot. Today we know there's another group came out, Western Togoland Liberation Front.
Yeah.
And then we have UFF. They're also a group, and everyone is trying to play the independence role for the land. So Papa V, who is the leader of the Homeland Study Group Foundation, he together of some of the leaders of PLC were arrested before in 2017, and then they went to court. Well, when they went to court, I have the court document here.
Yeah.
They were arrested and they went to court before the prosecution tried to go after evidence, and then the judge told them point blank, I quote, he said, "It is unconstitutional to bring an accused to court and tell court that you are going for evidence."
Okay.
Now, we were arrested in 2017. The leader of some leaders of the PLC, together with Papavi Homeland Study Group Foundation. His real name is Charles Komikujoji. And then we went to that case for many months, and Ghana government came out and said, "Oh, okay." Through the Attorney General, and said she didn't see anything wrong with these people. They have never seen any crime committed here. We should let them go. So they set them free, and they asked them to sign a bond of a peaceful behavior for 6 months, which they did, and the 6-month bond expired. Then in 2019, again they arrest them. This time, PLC members were not part of it. Only Homeland Study Group Foundation members were arrested recently in 2019.
So you see, this is where most people have issues with PLC, because it's looking more like nobody is showing their face as the leader. You're talking about other people, which I have not actually for the first time. Some people might be hearing for the first time that the leader is in Holland and all that. But sometimes people think you might have a case. You have a case with documents backing it on, all that. But where are the leaders? Who are the people? If today the government of Ghana says that we want to have a meeting with PLC and discuss this issue thoroughly, who are the people going to come at the table and have that discussion?
Very well. Let me tell you, that is one of the mistakes happened in the past, in the days of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when our people went to the voting of the plebiscite. When the plebiscite finished, we don't have a government. Western Togoland did not have an elected official that will speak on our behalf. As of today we speak, we are asking for restoration of Western Togoland. We do not have an elected or constitutionally elected official to represent Western Togoland. So even though we have extended our hands to Ghana, that let's sit down by the round table and negotiate, all that we are asking is allow us to peacefully continue our education, our teaching, our restoration process, so that we will have a constitutionally elected official who qualified to sit with you.
Yeah, I understand that perfectly. If Ghana says yes today, who are the leaders? Who are the people? Because from your explanation, there are a few groups that come together to form PLC.
Exactly.
With different interests.
No.
The same interests.
Exactly.
Fine. So, if the government of Ghana decide, let's have a meeting with PLC, let's have a meeting with Western Togoland, who is going to come to the table to have that conversation?
Well, that is where the elected officials, our constitutionally elected official, will come to the table. Because if the Ghana government is having any decision with a group of people or individual, that will not serve well. Because that is what Kwame Nkrumah did. That there was no elected official that will represent the interest of Western Togoland.
Okay.
So we have tried many times. Our people in the land are ready to have elected officials. But this is the problem. Because of the arrest, the intimidation that Ghana is putting into our people now, that is pulling dragging our foot back. That's what we are asking, that Ghana should put stop to this intimidation tactics. It should stop suppressing us. It should stop, coercing our people, so that we can have a peaceful sub-region.
Yeah. You're still listening to Seth Mifetu. He is the U.S. Canada Rep Coordinator for PLC, People's Liberation Council of Western Togoland. We're speaking on the issue. I know this issue is one of those issues where people don't want to discuss, but we have to, because we need to give people the platform to also explain things to people who are confused about. I know some politicians, lecturers, people we know that have learned a lot about Ghana's constitution from the days of Nkrumah through to today. Some people, and we get different opinions about all this. So it was the main reason why I brought him here to explain to us why they're doing what they're doing today. I'm going to take a few minutes and read some messages coming in. Maybe we might need some questions along the way where he will be willing to answer. This is coming from Siram Senam. He says, Western Togoland forever. Ghana has illegally held onto Western Togoland for too long. Let the people determine their future from Wilberforce. This is coming from Helen Pelly. She says, freedom. Clara Gamezi says, we are not Ghanaians and we will never be. Seth Agleke says, I'm a Voltarian and I can't wait for this Western Togoland liberation be realized so we can leave this corrupt nation called Ghana. Siram Sanam says, the new nation Western Togoland, the sky of Africa, welcome from Wilberforce Eternum. Mike Tenge says, Western Togoland doesn't have any issue with Ghana, So Ghana must be careful with Western Togoland. If not, we are all going to. Yeah. Shine Sepenu says, freedom, freedom forever. Western Togoland is free forever. Seth Agbleke says, the citizens of Western Togoland is capable of managing her own affairs. Kofi Sosovi says, Western Togoland is my homeland. Siram Senam says, the union we voted for was not affected and established constitutionally, making the union illegal. So somebody is making a very interesting
yes, that is
comment here.
Yes, because even if you read my last article that I made, my publication,
yeah,
I made it clear that even the plebiscite, it was not rectified. Now, at the time of the plebiscite also, there was no government in place for Western Togoland.
Okay.
And at the time, there was no constitutional conference between leaders of Western Togoland and Gold Coast to decide on the terms and conditions of the union. So, where is the constitution that is backing our union? There is no constitution backing the union. We're supposed to have a union constitution to back the union. All of a sudden, we went ahead and have a unity constitution. Now, one thing you have to know is that Western Togolanders voted in plebiscite in 9th May 1956 to be in union with the Gold Coast. 2 months, barely 2 months, after 2 months, Gold Coast also went to vote in a referendum against the plebiscite, against the union. Why that? They went and voted unity system of government. They chose unity system of government at the time is July 12, 1956. Why we voted
on
for
the
union?
same day?
The same year.
Okay.
We voted in May, and they voted in July.
The same year.
The same year. When we voted, the other fact is that even though United Nations approved that we should be in union, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and others were actually looking for integration.
Okay.
They were not in favor of union. But you cannot work with that because we are trust territory.
All right.
And UN have taken a decision on that. Resolution 1044 agree and approve union. So even though we know Kwame Nkrumah's interest was integration, we voted for union. And the union must be effected. And it was not effected. And the Kwame Nkrumah and his God code went into referendum to vote against the union. If you say you are part of you should have allowed us to take part in that July referendum. Then we say, oh, then it's both Western Togoland and Gold Coast that come together to decide on the unity system of government. That will be fine. But yes, this is the case. We voted for union and you went ahead and voted for unity system of government. So what is this?
So I'm going to go ahead and read a few messages coming through and some questions, and then we're going to take a short break and then continue the conversation. Kofi Sosovi said, long live Western Togoland. This is coming from Francis Kweku. Mr. Seth, we are behind you. Let the whole world hear our voice through you. We cannot continue to be slaves to Ghana. Mr. T, Western Togoland voted to join Ghana when Ghana gained independence. How true is that?
We voted in May 9, 1956.
Yeah.
When did the Ghana gain independence? Is it not July 6 March 1957? So what is that? We voted 9th May 1956. That's the record.
What was the voting about?
The vote is for a union with independent Ghana.
Okay.
At the time. So if the letter you just read from Alan Noble, say Alan Noble, informed the United Nations based on the resolution 1044 that the union between the former colony, Gold Coast, which is now Ghana, and Trust Territory, which is the Western Togoland, has been effected on 6 March 1957.
You listen to Loud Silence Radio. There's a lot of education going on here.
The union is effected. Where is the union agreement?
Yeah.
There can't be a union without agreement. Where is the union agreement?
So your question to the government of Ghana is, where is the agreement?
Exactly. Because UN, you see, you have seen the wisdom in the UN resolution. Because I said before that the purpose and the principles of the Trusteeship Council is to give full independence to Trust Territory at the time of terminating their Trusteeship Agreement.
Yeah.
Now, if the Alan Noble did not notify Secretary General that the union has been effected, the Trusteeship Agreement between UN and UK, which is Britain, will not be terminated.
Yeah, it still stands.
It still stands.
Yeah.
It will not be terminated. It was terminated because the letter says the union has been effected. Where is the union? You see, the decision of the UN is two things. One, I said the work of the Trusteeship Council is to make sure that at the time of termination your Trusteeship Agreement, you attain full independence, not integration, not slavery,
full independence.
Full independence. And Honorable Obed Asamoah, he stated that. I know some MPs from Ghana quoted Honorable Obed Asamoah.
Yeah.
I have his book here. I have a copy of the same book that he quoted.
Okay.
And Obed Asamoah laid the same fact in his book here. You see? So now, when that was terminated, the agreement was not made. So that's why we are just asking the Ghana.
Where is the agreement?
Where is the union agreement?
I'm going to take a few of the comments. This is coming from Helen Pelly. Says, "Wow, well-informed gentleman. I met him at our picnic, and he's sowing a lot of promote Western Togoland here in the United States." Evrem Bissem said, "Niho, niho, niho, niho." Charles Metals says, "In these times, as Africans, it is completely useless to create more borders. We need unification, not more separation."
That's very good. Let me react to that, please.
Okay.
That will not be the reason why we should sell our birthright. We are not saying that Africa should not unite.
Okay.
If Africa should unite without this problem being solved, there will be a problem in the future. This problem was not solved. That is why it's still there. Now, if Africa unite, we are only going to be a state. Like America, we have New Jersey, we have New York, we have Virginia.
The Western Togoland state.
Western Togoland, state. That's it. What is wrong with that? It's not because Africa will come together as one state, or one country, or one continent, then we should sell our birthright. No. Before you go into reading, let me clarify something. You said this struggle began a long time ago.
Yeah.
The struggle for restoring Western Togoland did not start yesterday.
A long time ago.
It did not start yesterday. It started in the 50s. And I can tell you, I have a letter here, which was a speech by Dr. Gray Raphael Amato. He discovered Abochi drug after the Second World War. He is a Ketabon. He's a very educated one. He is a leader of Togoland Congress. I don't know whether you have heard of Togoland Congress before.
No.
Okay, when CPP was in existence at the time, Togoland Congress was also there. Togoland Congress was not in Ghana's book because Togoland does not belong to Ghana.
Oh, okay.
That's why you read about UGCC, you read about CPP, but you never heard of Togoland Congress. Togoland Congress was there, and Togoland Congress was led by Dr. Raphael Amato. And in 1953, Amato came to United Nations and gave a speech telling United Nations that Western Togoland is no one's dominion and wish not to be part of anybody's dominion. My brother, I have the letter here. If you want to read that from the Raphael Amato.
Yeah. So you're still listening to Loud Silence Radio. We have here Mr. Seth. Your second name, I always...
Mifetu.
Mifetu. He is the coordinator for PLC, USA, and Canada. He's actually given us some serious insight with this issue. And then today, I'm very much pleased to have him here because there are a lot of things he's saying that I actually didn't have an idea about. I'm going to be very honest here. There are a lot of things, a lot of history. He's actually educating us on this whole Western Togoland issue. This letter...
Read everything.
Yes.
From the, if you want to read the headline.
Yeah, I need to do that so that my listeners will understand what I'm reading. The Ewe and Togoland unification problem. A statement by Dr. Raphael Amato, representative of the Joint Togoland Congress, to the 4th Committee at its 367th meeting on November 17th, 1953. And if you go to the center page, it says, "We object most strongly to the possible annexation and probable incorporation into a country whose morals stink to high heaven with corruption and venality. We call the attention of the civilized world to the attempt made by the Gold Coast government with the knowledge of the administrating authority to bribe, corrupt, and subvert our people."
This is coming from this this is written, a speech by Dr. Amato.
Yes.
But I need to tell you that after this speech, in 2 weeks' time, Dr. Amato said he's going to Germany to retrieve more documents.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks, he was poisoned.
He was
poisoned.
In Ghana or
outside, here in America.
In America.
Yes, he was poisoned just after
he made the statement.
Yes, 2 weeks' time he was poisoned and he died. We just lost this gentleman. After that, S.G. Anton took over the reign from him.
Yeah.
It was S.G. Anton who also came to the United Nations in 1954. He actually accepted the idea that, okay, we should vote in referendum, in plebiscite to determine. Now, he was there when he went to Ghana Parliament. Then he raised Western Togoland issue. Kwame Nkrumah hunt for this man like a guinea pig and have him arrested and lock him up in Nkrumah's camp in Sawom for just raising Western Togoland issue. Now, I have one document here.
I know you have a lot of documents.
Unfortunately, I did not.
You have a lot of documents.
Now,
it's on record.
I even sent it to your.
Yeah, that's the 477-page document.
No, this is
60.
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah, I received a lot of documents.
Now, this is the Ghana's Independence Act. That is the act given to Ghana by Britain when Ghana was gaining. Gold Coast was gaining independence.
Yeah.
And if you take time to read through all these things, the boundaries of Gold Coast was laid in this act, and the boundary did not include Western Togoland. Britain was in charge of Gold Coast. So when Britain is granting independence to the Gold Coast, Britons have to give a site plan to the Gold Coast to tell them this is your border.
Is that a map we showed at the beginning?
No, that's another document.
Okay.
Yeah. So Britain have to. I'm sorry if you look through, it also have some other document add to it, but I forward it to you. So when you read from yours, that could be a separate document because it is not staple. That is why.
All right.
I'm sorry. So Ghana have a site plan. You know, when you buy a land, they have to give you a site plan.
Yeah.
It is the site plan the surveyors have to use to locate your land. So when I enters your land, it is the site plan will determine that I've entered your land. Yeah. So this is the site plan of Gold Coast, and the site plan did not include Western Togoland. The borders did not include Western Togoland. Kevin, listen. You know the role Ghana play in African Union.
Yes.
In African Union, their constitution, they made it clear that member states should respect their borders at independence. They should respect their boundaries at independence. This is Ghana's Independence Act, and their boundaries are clearly written in this document without Western Togoland. Western Togoland was not added to Ghana's border. Now, this document was disputed by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and CPP together with the UGCC. I'm telling you, these two parties, UGCC and CPP, came together and criticized this. They call it imposed document because they said British imposed this document on them. And they have to accept it because Kwame Nkrumah want to gain independence at all costs.
Yeah.
God being so good, they have accepted. In 1960, Ghana became republic and have to write their own constitution.
Okay.
And in the Republic Constitution of Ghana, which was written by Ghanaian, Western Togoland was missing. Was missing. So, is that also a mistake? It's just like the recent budget that they said mistakenly voter region is taken out. Is that also a mistake?
You listen to Loud Silence Radio. My name is Kevin Taylor. My guest is Seth Mefetu. He is the coordinator for PLC, the People's Liberation Council, and he is actually a coordinator here in the United States and also in Canada. We're actually having a very interesting discussion on this Western Togoland issue. I have lots and lots of messages here. I'm going to read a few, and we're going to go for a short music break. And then when we come back, I'm going to ask him a few questions. What is the impact of the struggle of Western Togoland? What are they in to achieve? What are their expectations? Will they actually sit on the table with the government? A lot of questions here. We have 15 minutes more, but I think we can make good use of the time. A few messages before we go for this music break. The union, this is coming from Kofi Ameuga. The union between Ghana, Western Togoland was not established. Western Togoland wants her freedom. Ghana is not our colonial master. Aliu Adama, may God bless you. Thank you, Aliu. Nana Kobina says, please, Kevin, you promised your listeners that today you are going to play the full audio of PDS deal. We did that last week, and it's actually in circulation. When you go on our YouTube page, you can listen to that audio. Gilbert Befo Pressure says video quality is bad, please. Okay, I think they will have to work on it. I know my technicians are listening to you. Dauda Yakubu, Kevin, thanks. This is K. We say, keep it up, Kevin. Thank you. Gilbert Befu Pressure says, network very bad, please. Lazarus Yehovah says, so with all this, why is Ghana fooling with our brothers of Western Togoland? William Homeku says, if you can send us all the documents, we will be very grateful. We are actually going to publish everything on our website. We are going to send it out on our page, on our YouTube channel. Everybody is going to have access to the documents he's talking about. People need to verify everything that he's speaking on. He says that these are the documents. He came boldly with the documents, and he's not just speaking. He's speaking with facts. So it is also our duty as a media house to publish these documents for our fellow Ghanaians and our brothers in Western Togoland to also have access to them. So we promise you we're going to publish all these things so that you can access it on our website. This is coming from Lenyon John. This guy is well informed. Western Togoland should detach itself from this corrupt national called Ghana. Voltarians, let us all rise up and fight for this common goal. Kevin, we are still waiting for the PDS audio. The PDS audio was came out last week. Please, if you want to listen to it, you can go on our YouTube channel. It's there, and you can listen to that. Excalibur GH. They left all our history and taught us only the history of Gold Coast, Yasantua and Osetutu and co. And as if we, the Western Togolanders, have no heroes of our own. That's not a union. Bono Man 76, a lot of messages coming in. Thank you, Kevin. You are doing a great job. Helen, excellent. So we're going to take a short music break. I know Seth is charged. He has a lot of information. This man is loaded, man. Trust me, he's got a lot of information to share with us. We're going to take a short break. He's going to take a sip of water. I think he's been talking. My producer is going to do that. I'm sorry.
Some water.
And then we're going to take the conversation from there. So we're going to go for a short break. We'll be right back. This is Loud Silence Radio.
Thank you so much.
is the coordinator for the government of Ghana should listen to them and come to the table and have a solid discussion on this issue. Today, we've learned a lot from the days of Kwame Nkrumah through to today. A lot we're missing. We honestly have been educated today, and I'll be honest here to say that most of the things we're talking about today, we were supposed to learn them in school. But for some reason, all this was missing from our social studies textbooks. In the future, we're going to be discussing all these things. Somebody sent a message saying that these were the things we were supposed to be told. These were the stories we were supposed to, at least we have to have an idea. We have to have a knowledge of it so that when we travel out of our zone, we can explain to people. We can tell people the story of Ghana and even the story of Western Togoland as we speak now. Yes. Mr. Seth talked about a book by Dr. Obed Yao Asamoah. The title is The Political History of Ghana, 1950 to 2013, The Experience of a Non-Conformist. Now, non-conformist, sorry. There are a few parts of the book I would like to read because when Mr. Seth was speaking, he made reference to this book. And I actually took it from him. I looked at it, and I just want to share that with you, a few of the things in the book. When you get to the page 18, there's a statement that the objective of the system was to promote the political, economic, and social advancement of the trust territories and their progressive development towards self-government or independence. When you go down into 1955, the Trusteeship Council sent a special mission to Togoland and the UK administration to investigate the question of the future of the territory, a question that required resolution in the face of the Gold Coast forthcoming independence. In December of that year, the British resolved that a plebiscite be conducted to ascertain the wishes of the people. This is the book of Dr. Yao Obed Asamoah.
Sure.
So that was what you're referring to.
Yeah, but I just want you to take a critical look at where you started. You said, well, you used the word system.
Yeah.
The system is referring to the trusteeship system, so that people should get it clear.
Yeah.
It's referred to the trusteeship. And what was the duty of the trusteeship system over there by Obed Asamoah?
To promote the political, economic, and social advancements of the trust territories and their progressive development towards self-government or independence.
Did you say integration?
No, there's nothing like integration here.
That's what I said from the beginning. And I said that the principle and the purposes of the Trusteeship Council is to make sure that all trust territory has given it full independence at the time of termination of the Trusteeship Agreement. The same thing that Obed Asamoah is also quoting. He's saying, and you can see clearly, this book written by Obed Asamoah, I make a copy because I know one MP was on Metro TV and make a reference to this book. And
you mean Okudzato Ablakwa?
Yes.
I listened to that interview.
He make a reference to this book, and he also make a reference to Resolution 1044, which is the resolution that asks Britain to undertake the plebiscite. That is why when you read the letter from Sir Alan Noble, he made reference to Resolution 1044 because that is what mandated Britain to take the the plebiscite. And the same thing Obed Asamoah is quoting that it will ascertain the plebiscite is to ascertain the wish of the people.
There's a question here I would like to ask. It's coming from Esther Ethel. It said, Kevin, please ask Mr. Mefetu that what happened to some of our great grandparents? They ran away from Western Togoland because of Nkrumah's regime.
Yes, like I said to you when I was talking about Dr. Raphael Amato, anytime Western Togolanders come up of restoration issue, any government of the Gold Coast come up and challenge them. They try to do whatever they want to do and they run away. They have been attacking them. That is why I told you Raphael Amato was killed. He was poisoned. A.J. Anto was arrested and was in prison for no charge. Now, what do you call it? The members of the Togoland Congress that was fighting for the interests of Western Togoland, they became enemy to the Gold Coast. You could see when Kwame Nkrumah sent the joint forces of army to Alavanyo, Nkunya, Pando, where we call the Pando massacre, and kill these people. Anybody at all. We have Michael Mba, who also ran away. He was on ESA after the plebiscite, because he was a member of the Togoland Congress. After the plebiscite, he had to run away. So anytime anybody at all come up with this issue, then the government will raise forces against the person. The people will run away. Yeah. IB Bawa, what do you call it? At Champo time. Yeah. He also rise up with other people asking that Western Togoland should be restored. Achampo was able to challenge these guys, and they have to run away or to go on exile. You see, we have also come up and see what is happening to us. We can't even stay in our home as I'm talking to you. You see, so that is the reason why some of our grandfathers run away. They went on exile because the government of the day will not allow them to raise a legitimate issue like this. They don't want to talk about it because the idea is that they want Western Togoland to be absorbed, and they've done it, and that is injustice to Western Togoland.
I have lots and lots of messages coming in. We might push the show. Yeah, the producer. You want to give me some few minutes? Okay, producer gives us the green light that we can go on. I think we need to exhaust a lot of things here. Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things we need to talk about because this topic has been lingering around. It's been hanging. It's been an albatross. We need to deal with it. And then this platform, I've always said that is a platform whereby listeners become hosts and also guests at the same time. You can contribute. You can speak your mind. We don't edit. We make sure that the power the people have, it gets an impact in whatever we do. I have some messages I want to read. This has come from Seth Aglekese. Kevin has said that now that the Volta region is being divided, do we have groups in the current Uti region sharing the same interest in the liberation campaign?
Sure. We have been to Uti region, even though we have met opposing forces that was thrown against us, but they are our brothers and sisters who are in Uti region fully in support of liberation of Western Togoland.
Okay. So that one is straightforward.
Yes, everywhere. The land is fully saturated with the idea of liberation.
Okay, great. We have a few messages here. It's a lot, man. My phone. Western Togoland is our property, and if Ghana has all their resources, that is for their development. We have nothing but our land and independence. What is threatening them? That they still don't. I think I have an idea of what they are trying to say. He's talking about Western Togoland not having any resource.
Unfortunately, that is not true. Western Togoland, we were challenged during one of the issues that Britain raised at the UN, telling the UN that we don't have natural resources to support our economy.
Okay.
Britain also raised the issue.
I was going to come to that question.
Yeah, Britain also raised the issue that we don't have a sea to make a port to be able to trade with an international body. Britain raised the issue that we don't have a place to build an airport so that we could have a flight of that sort. Yeah. Now, there is one thing our forefathers used at the time, and I want to quote. They said, there is no land that when you plant a seed, it will not germinate.
That's true.
So when we don't have anything at all, it does not mean we should sell our birthright. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin, let me tell you here, point blank, that we have the most natural resources in our land than anywhere. I don't see any country that have anything more than us when it comes in terms of natural resources. We have oil.
In Western Togoland.
Exactly. We have uranium.
In Western Togoland.
Exactly. We have gold. We have cocoa. We have timber. We have iron ore. We have salt. Even recently, Akufo-Addo issued some licenses to some people to mine our salt. And the Keta youth stood against it. Even the salt alone is enough for us. You see, we have a clinker. Because of clinker in Aplau, that is why Atamas was trying to build a cement factory in Aplau. We have clinker. We have so many things. Some of you I even forgot. We have a lot. Gold, timber, iron ore. Recently, this I can't forget this. Recently, when Akufo-Addo was in power, the Ghana Mineral Commission, they came out clearly that entire Adaklu is sitting on lithium. I wrote to United Nations on that. Yeah. I petitioned United Nations that the embargo laid on our mineral resources should be put in effect. Because Ghana, by UN law, Ghana and no any other authority have any right to touch any of our mineral resources.
Yeah, because you're independent.
Because it was clearly that now and future, So we have mineral resources there, but we are not thinking about that. But we have.
So people listening to us, our followers, our listeners, what you can do right now, and my producer just signaled me, what you can do right now is you can send voice notes to our WhatsApp number, and we'll play live for everybody to hear. So the number, I think I need the number. So my producer is going to send me the number, then I'll give the number out so that you can send your voice note for us to play live on air. That's a lot. So my question right now is, what are you expecting from government of Ghana?
Yes, that's a very nice question. As a matter of fact, we are expecting non-interference in our process of creating appropriate structures for governmental level operation. That's what we are expecting. And we are also expecting that these arrests that Ghana government is arresting our people here and there, it should stop. Because if you are doing that, you are inciting our people violently.
Okay.
PLC has been able to guide these people within the legal frames of both international and local. We keep these people within the law. Kevin, you cannot tell me that there have been any incident that you can cite that we Western Togolanders have caused. There's no problem. You have never heard anything.
With that, I can say for a fact.
Because we have been guiding these people to go through the laydown rules. We have never break any law. But the idea of Ghana arresting our people, coercing these people, suppressing them, this is like you are inciting them. When you suppress somebody to the ground for some time, when the person rises up, he will generate into a monster you cannot control. That is why we are praying to Ghana government. Please, stop the arrest. Stop intimidating our citizens. Today, as I'm speaking to you here, I told you one of our communicator, Mr. Daniel Yevuga, is nowhere to be found. He is on the Ghana radar. They are looking for him seriously. And the idea, the decision taken at the national level by Ghanaians is to have Daniel Yevuga arrested and silence him. Silence him, I don't understand what they mean by silence him. Yevuga is on the run. Whether he had been arrested or not, we don't know. Our chiefs have been arrested. One of the paramount chief in Peking, he has been arrested. One chief in Angloga and Delhi, Tagbi Kugu II, he has been arrested last Saturday with other 9 people in addition to him, making 10. Then Monday, they went to court, and the court has reminded these people. You see, and now what is going on, we have had, the message we also had from the ground is that they arrest you, they take you to police station. The next time your family member come there, they'll tell you they've taken them away. When you say to where, they say they don't know. So the arrest is now underground because they don't want the media to know people have been arrested. So why are you arresting people secretly? Today, as I'm talking to you, Western Togolanders cannot sit 1 or 2 or 3 and talk. Immediately they see you in the group 3, 4, the police, the soldiers, they are now in mufti. They bounce on you. So this thing we are asking Ghana government to stop. This will not solve the problem. It will rather generate it to something else. We want a peaceful sub-region. Okay. We don't want violence.
So you are ready to come to the table with the government of Ghana?
Exactly. We don't want violence. But when you are doing this, the people will get to a point where they will employ a self-defense mechanism. And when you get to that level, it will be difficult to control. The issue will be out of control.
This is from Excalibur GH. Most people keep telling us that we ain't Ghanaians. We thought our ancestors begged Nkrumah and the British government to be part of Ghana. Yes. Now the truth is out, and they resort to intimidation. Oliver Awilo says, please, Kevin, play Agbotsi Yao song for us. Ablodi Bazaar.
Ablore Baja.
Okay. So
Ablore Baja.
I'll try. I'll talk to the producers about that. Jude Nana Dumpty says, great citizen, you are blessed. Ethel say, we already had our independence last November, and what's left for us to do now is education. Philip Doy says, the room is dark. Okay, we'll work on that, Philip. Thank you for your submission. Excalibur GH says, yes, we can't sell our birthright with the pot of soup, just like Zao in the Bible. Thank you, Mr. Mefutu. We ain't selling our birthright today or tomorrow. Blessed Ejapon says, my dear Ghana, please let the people of Western Togo go. Mr. T says, what he's saying is facts. My dad told me all this, but says people decided to join Ghana because of the word independence. Ashantis have abused people from Western Togoland, so I agree of separation. Francis Kweku says, Kevin, you're marvelous. Keep it up and let the whole world hear our cry through your channel, and UN must give recommendations for our dear nation, Western Togoland freedom now. Leon John said, Kevin, no wonder past governments didn't develop the part of the country. We need our independence now. A lot of messages. So we come into the closing stages of this conversation. There's my producer is trying to tell me something, and I'm really struggling to get what he's trying to tell me. Somebody just donated $20 to this cause, and we are very happy. And it's one of those things. Loud Silence Media is a small company. We're trying to finance it to make it one of the best platforms whereby everyone can come on this platform and tell their story, like the way PLC, Mr. Seth Mefatu, is explaining to Ghanaians. A lot is happening. His name is Guy Boka. Guy Boka gave us $20 now, and we really appreciate that. We thank you very much for donating to Loud Silence Radio and TV. So, Seth, before we wrap up, the conversation is quite broad.
Exactly.
If you don't get people like you speaking on it, when you look at it from far, it looks like a very small conversation, but it's a broad one.
Yes.
Now, you've educated us a lot, and I know this is not the end of this conversation. We are going to come back because we need to talk to the other side too. Sure. And when I say the other side, I mean where I am,
yes,
Ghana,
yes,
and then they have to also prove or tell us their story,
yes, because
we can't just take one side. So maybe in the future we could have you in the studio and somebody from the Ghana part to explain things
exactly
to all of us. But now the issue is, before you we closing up now, what do you want to tell the people of Western Togoland? What is the message? Right. And then what is the message to Ghanaians? Because some people think that they need attention. Some people think that, they have no case. Some people, there are a lot of misconceptions going out there. What are you going to tell them?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Mr. Kevin, before I said anything on that, there is this document that a lot of people have...
Documents, man.
A lot of people have been confusing members of our Western Togoland that this document makes us Ghanaians. And I want you to see it yourself to see that this document did not make us Ghanaians. You will know that when the imperialists came to our country, they take you, they capture you in terms of war. When you fight them, they capture you.
Yeah.
Then that's how, Ashanti was brought to the Gold Coast during the 1900 war led by Yasantua, the Britain. That's why it was a defeat that brought Ashanti into the Gold Coast. Rather than that, Ashanti is not part of the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
You could see, you are aware that the Gan and the Fantis, they signed the bond of 1884.
Yeah.
Even though we said their chiefs were forced to thumbprint on that bond. That bond brought the Gan and the Fanti land to the Gold Coast for 100 years. It is clear there. Western Togoland has never signed any treaty, have never signed any bond with Britain to bring our land under Gold Coast.
Okay.
Western Togoland never have, there's nowhere Britain fought Western Togoland and captured them in war. No. But the only document, the only treaty we signed, which was signed in Jalukopa, the Treaty of Amity and Commerce, it was a treaty of trade. It's not a treaty that will bring our land into the Gold Coast or under the jurisdiction of the Britain. It's a treaty of commerce.
Okay.
Amity and commerce. So people say because of this treaty, even if it is not signed, if you look at the signatures aspect in the front page, it just make a mark, X, and the person didn't sign. The chiefs, they didn't sign. But even if that is considered signed, this is not a treaty that will bring our land into Gold Coast.
Yeah. If I have a minute to read this, 1867 Treaty of 14th November 1867, AUNA, 14th November 1867, a treaty of amity and commerce between Her Britannic Majesty local government on the Gold Coast and the tribes and states under the protection of the aforesaid local government on one part, and the king and chiefs of Auna, Angla, yeah, and its dependencies on the other part.
Yes.
Or other part, sorry.
Exactly.
So it states it clearly.
This is the thing. It's not
it's
a
commerce.
treaty.
Yeah.
It's for commerce because there was a sort of an amity between Britain and the Anglos.
Yeah.
After the Datu Tagba war, between the fight between the British and the Anglo at the Datu Tagba. So when the British come with their produce, we don't buy it. It's like we are loggerheads with one another. That's why they say, okay, come on, let's sign this thing and be friends. Let us be so that we can trade.
Yeah.
You see, it's not something that bring our land under Britain. So people who are misinforming our citizens that we signed the Treaty of Jalukoffer to make us to bring our land under British rule, it's not true. If I should say my last comment, like you said. First of all, I would like to speak to the broader world that I am calling on the United Nations and the United States of America. I'm also calling on Russia that they should exert their influence in this case. What is happening, and especially the arrest that is going on unlawful arrest that is going on, the suppression, subdues, and other thing that is going on Western Togoland, it's a threat to world peace. And we are peace-loving people. So we are calling on the United Nations to exert their influence now before the issue gets out of hands.
Yeah. So if the government of Ghana decide not to show up, have any dialogue with Western Togoland, what is the next move of Western Togoland?
Well, the Western Togolanders will decide on that. That is a personal issue. Me alone cannot decide on that one. If the government refuse to do that, the Western Togolanders will come out with what to do next.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also call on the Ghana government that all that we are doing, we want peace. We are not fighting Ghana.
Okay.
We are not enemy of Ghana. Our wives are in Ghana. Our husbands are in Ghana. Our children are in Ghana. We can't be fighting our own flesh and blood.
That's true.
So we don't have that time and that energy to go into war with Ghana. We are not fighting Ghana. We are only fighting for restoration of our land. The UN resolution is clear. The resolution is for the territorial integrity, identity, sovereignty, and independence. This have eluded us since Kwame Nkrumah's time. That is what we are asking to be restored. We are not asking for war. So these are chasing of our communicators, arresting our chiefs, putting them before court, putting them in prison. I think it will not solve the problem. What will solve the problem is let us come to
dialogue
and have a dialogue. Yeah. So we are pleading with them so that they could stop the arrest. Yeah. And then to my colleagues, Western Togolanders, I said a very big thank to them. I can assure them that we will resist oppressed rule. And the arrows of the oppressor will hit them, but no wound will result. The arrows of the oppressor will hit them, but no wound will result. So they should keep fighting the good fight. What they are doing is legal. It's within the confines of international and local law. We haven't broken any law. Nobody should be afraid. We should continue to fight for our land.
You came with a lot of documents today. A few people are texting and sending messages. How can they get access to these documents? How can PLC be reached? And how can people get access to these documents you brought in today? I think more people are eager to read these documents and understand the issue very well. And I just want you to tell people how they can get access to the documents you have here. If you have a phone number, your website, people just want to get access to information.
Sure. Well, if you want to go to our website, it is www.plcwtl.org. It just PLC is People's Liberation Council and WTL is Western Togoland.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. So PLCWTL.org. Very short. Then you go to our website and whatever you want, you get it there. Okay. But if you want to contact us, if you want to contact US, you can call +1 347 213 6348. That is US. +1 347 213 6348. So even if you need a document to be emailed to you or whatever, we can do that for you. If you want to call Canada, you can also call +1 347. +1 +1-647-205-7968. Canada again, +1-647-205-7968. And if you want to call our headquarters in Netherlands, you can call +1-316-5144-936. +1-316-511-44-936. And again, another number for Netherlands is +1-352-661-907-007. +1-352-661-907-007. If you want Western Togoland, our homeland, the number is here, but for the sake of security, I will
actually keep that number.
I will keep that one to
Okay.
myself.
So you heard it for yourself. You heard from Mr. Seth Mefetu. He is the coordinator in the US and Canada for the PLC, the People's Liberation Council for Western Togoland. Sir, it was great having you here. A lot of information. You've taught us a lot of our history. I don't think this is the last time we've seen you here. It's been great having you here. We're going to bring you back to tell us more about this because we need to hear the story of the other side. When I say the other side, my side from Ghana.
Exactly.
We also need to tell our story and then let people know what is really happening. It's been a pleasure having you on Loud Silence Radio. I am very, very, very much pleased for this interview, and I just want to tell you, keep doing the job you're doing and fighting for what you believe in. I've always said, if you believe in something, just fight for it. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin.
You're still listening to Loud Silence Radio. My name is Kevin Taylor. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to close the show. This is Loud Silence Radio.